breaking news. Now, lots of curiosity as to how the Americans were able to pinpoint the compound where the Supreme Leader Khamenei was holed up in and hit precisely and eliminate him and some of the other generals and top military leaders who he was holed up with in that building. Now, this is the other breaking story that we're reporting. The U.S. media are reporting the CIA helped pinpoint a gathering of top Iranian leaders. This intel was then shared with the Israelis, and it's the Israelis who struck that particular compound where the Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was having a meeting with his top military leadership. And that is when the Israelis pounced in and hit that particular compound. Let me go across to Aman, who has more details on this. Aman, so clearly the Iranian intel seemed to have been compromised. The Americans knew precisely down to which building the Supreme Leader was holed up inside.
Morning on his post on Truth Social had in fact pointed to this, said we had pinpointed intelligence and we had highly sophisticated tracking systems. That is what Donald Trump had said, but now the New York Times is putting out more details of how exactly this strike was carried out. It says that CIA had been doing this surveillance on Khamenei for months. They were tracking his movements, his pattern, where does he go, how what time does he leave, which is the places he frequents. And based on this pinpointed intelligence, the New York Times is now saying that the months of CIA surveillance zeroed in on the exact location of Khamenei. High fidelity intelligence confirmed his presence at a top-level meeting that morning, on the morning of Saturday. And that is why the original plan was to strike at night. But the New York Times is reporting, but that plan was changed to early morning because of this pinpointed intelligence. What they are saying, that the attack was rescheduled to Saturday morning to exploit this real-time intelligence window. So again, it's showing the hallmark of CIA, that they are able to zero in on exact location of such high-value targets. They also said that a decision, New York Times is saying, is taken jointly by Washington and Tel Aviv. They had a joint operation and it was a joint decision to strike in the morning. What more are we being told is that the CIA had clear intelligence that the meeting included Iran's most powerful military leadership and that Khamenei will be present at this particular meeting. That is the intelligence that they had. Israeli fighter jets have taken off at 6 a.m. Israel time for this particular strike. That is what also NYT is reporting. And exactly at 9:40 a.m., this particular compound where the Supreme Leader of Iran was present was struck by long-range precision missiles. That is what the NYT is reporting, that 9:40 a.m. local time is the exact time when this strike was carried out, after the Israeli jets took off at about 6 a.m. and took about a 2-hour journey to their ultimate target. Also, what this particular NYT report, Zaka, is saying that the strike hit multiple buildings respectively. So while Israel claimed it achieved complete surprise with this particular strike, they're also saying that this was real-time actionable intelligence passed off to Israel, and Israel carried out this strike with great precision. Also, this reflects the unprecedented intelligence sharing between both the nations for over a dozen years now, and this particular operation has become a hallmark of that. Also, it raises big question marks on whether there was a big strategic slip-up by the Iranian leadership, because despite clear signals of an impending war, the leadership gathered at a central compound in Tehran and became a sitting duck target for America and Israel.
All right,